Now, one of Pakistan's most famous actresses has accused the India film industry of fueling hate by portraying her countrymen as villains in its films. Mewish Hayat made the controversial remarks at an awards ceremony in Oslo last week, which came right in the middle of a political standoff between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. Let's watch.
These films, combined with others that show negative images of Muslims, have fueled the rise of Islamophobia. Our neighbors have one of the largest film industries in the world, and in a time where they could have used the power they yield to bring us together, what do? They make countless films showing Pakistanis as the villains.
Mewish Hayat, you're very welcome to Impact. Thank you for joining us. So our viewers saw a little. This was at an award ceremony that you were receiving an award in Oslo. Yes. But some might say, you know, why are you bringing that up at this time when tensions are so high?
Well, Noala, thank you for having me on the show. This is something that I've been saying for a few years now. This is not something that I have just said at this event, but at numerous events, I have been saying that and talking about the misrepresentation of my country, be it Hollywood or Bollywood, and then this just came around at a time where, you know, there is a lot of tension, the ongoing crisis with Kashmir and all. I think the timing couldn't have been better because the things that I've been saying right now, it's more amplified. The voice is much greater. And I am really not saying anything that what I was saying is that how we need to be working as artists. We carry tremendous responsibility on our shoulders. We should be the people building bridges and be the torchbearers of peace. And you know, if I do that, my country is so welcoming that they even show their films. But on the other hand, what they do is they show us as villains in their films.
Have you got a response from Bollywood and Hollywood that you mentioned?
I am getting a lot of feedback, a lot of...
what has the reaction been?
The reaction has been mixed. But the thing is, I am glad that the debate has begun and finally we're talking about it. And a lot of people actually agree with it. Even the border, on the other side of the border, it was very well received because what I'm saying is, I'm just saying that we should work together for peace and building bridges. And yes, how they have been portraying us as terrorists and stereotyping us as people who are, which I don't recognize. That's not what my country is. And that's not how we are as people. So I really want them to get the right image of my country and not vilify us like that. It has to stop.
Because I think whenever I look, particularly when it comes to the issue of Kashmir, the rhetoric can be so inflamed. Do you feel that they will be able to come to a point of dialogue, and I'm more talking because I know you're very involved in politics as well, for the political authorities to be able to speak to one another over the issue of Kashmir right now?
I hope they do. I hope they do because honestly, I really feel my stance on this whole Kashmir issue is that Kashmiri people should be able to decide their fate. They should be making these decisions. And yes, the concerned parties and people and political leaders should come together on one platform, on one page, and really come at a point where it is good for the Kashmiri people. It should be in the benefit of what they want.
We'll see what happens. Narendra Modi, the leader in India, has revoked their special status, as our viewers may have heard. And it is something that's very popular within India, with him as a politician. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. But thank you for your clarification. You are also, after becoming a Goodwill Ambassador for the Penny Appeal. What is that?
Well, Penny Appeal is an amazing charity organization that's working in over 30 countries, and I'm very happy to be on board with them, and I want to work for education. So basically, I'm rebuilding 5 schools in Sindh for over 900 children, aged from 5 to 16, and as you can see, those adorable children, they are, look how... But the conditions they are getting education in is a really heart-wrenching situation.
And now where is this exactly?
This is in rural areas in Sindh and Sakhar, which is usually a place which is very hot and the weather is extreme. Look at those smiles. I mean, the zest for life, that enthusiasm, even though the conditions were terrible, and I almost shed a tear looking at them and the conditions that they're in. That's a school. and they sit under the shade of a tree, and that's where they get the education.
But what I am struck by there, Mevish, is that there's lots of girls.
Lots of girls. Isn't that amazing? And that is what I learned when I went there, that parents really want their girls to get education and be a part of the community, become a doctor or a lawyer. It's just the lack of resources. But otherwise, there is a very progressive state of mind. Even in the rural areas, these are the villages where you would expect that the girls wouldn't be given that kind of independence to go out to the schools. But in fact, it was the equal number of children, girls and boys.
And so you don't see barriers to girls. Often when we talk about young girls in education, it's fine until they're 12 or 13, but then sometimes they're not able to continue. Maybe they get, I don't know, that they're not going because they're expected to help at home, or perhaps there is early marriage. There's issues like this. You didn't encounter any of those?
Well, that also happens in the same areas, that after 13, 14, they would get them married, because obviously their mindset is that they need to get done with their responsibility, get her married, get her a home. But they don't realize that if she has to raise a family, education is very important. And if she gets the primary education, then she will have the power to decide if she wants to continue, getting the education and not settle down at that point. So maybe giving them that basic education, the girls will have a voice, which actually will be in the longer run help build nations that will be amazing people.
And I know you've spoken out often on female empowerment. How would you describe the state of gender equality in Pakistan?
Well, like everywhere in the world, we are all struggling, and being a woman and being in this industry, I think I have to work 100 times harder, and I have to work more just so that I'm taken seriously or I have a standing in the society. It is difficult. It is a conservative society, but at the same time, it's very progressive as well. There was a time when this profession wasn't even considered a profession. But over the period of time, now people, young girls, boys, everyone's coming into this business because they know this is a great opportunity where the media is flowing and everyone's coming into the business. So I think the gender equality within the industry, it's very good.
I'm really curious with you personally. Did your family push back an actress?
No, because my mother used to be an actress.
So that was totally acceptable.
Exactly. My sister is a singer, my brother is a music composer, so we are all into the same business, art. And that is why I had an enabling environment where I was actually encouraged and supported. And that is why I really want parents to let their children and their girls go follow their dreams and see the whole country is proud of me. And if I can do it, every girl in Pakistan can do it.
Thank you very much for coming in, Mehewish Hayat. Wonderful to have you with us. And anybody who wants to get in touch with me on this particular story, I'd love to hear their thoughts as well. Thank you very much.